Hello students, today we will do the topic electrostatic potential and electrostatic energy, few MCQ related with NEET and JEE. We are starting with the basic MCQ, that is level 1, where we generally employ the concept of a chapter. You can download the question or a PDF file from the link given in the description of the video. Now let us see question number 1. In a region, the electric field intensity is given by 100 upon x square. So the electric field intensity is 100 upon x square voltmeter. Find out the potential difference between the points. So we have 2 points. Let one point is equal to 10 meter initial point and the final point is 20 meter. So clearly electric field intensity is the function of x, and we know the relation between the potential difference or the relation between the electric field in the term of a potential gradient, that is E is equal to minus dV by dx. So while doing the theory, we have written this Ex and it was written as minus partial derivative of V with respect to x. But in the question it is clear that electric field is the function of x and the potential difference is to be found along the x-axis only, or the points which are along the x-axis. So instead of partial derivative we are writing E is equal to minus derivative of V with respect to x. Therefore dV is equal to minus E dx. Now integrating both the side, let us assume the initial potential is 0 at 10 meter and the final potential is V. You can take V1 minus V2 also. This is equal to minus integration E dx, E dx, where we have to do the integration with respect to x. So the limit becomes 10 meter to 20 meter. Therefore, integration of dV, that is V, equal to minus integration limit 10 to 20, 100 upon x square dx. We know the integration of 1 upon x square dx, which can be written as integration x is to minus 2 dx, and if we use the rule it is minus 1 by x. So V is equal to 100, 1 upon x, and limit becomes 10 to 20. Therefore, V is equal to 100, 1 by 20 minus 1 by 10. So V is equal to 10 into minus 10 divided by 200. So this comes out to be V is equal to minus 5 volt. Now, if we refer a question, we will get the option as a 5 volt. So the magnitude can be written as the 5 volt. So we go with the option of 5 volt. We assume that the magnitude is been asked and it should be a 5 volt. So that is a direct application of the electric field intensity in the terms of the potential difference. Question number 2. 2-point charges 8 microcoulomb and 12 microcoulomb are kept in air at a distance of 10 cm from each other. So we have a 2 charge Q1, Q2, which are at a 10 cm. So Q1 is equal to 8 microcoulomb, Q2 is equal to 12 microcoulomb. What is the work required to be done? Let us take initial distance to be 10 cm. What is the work required to change the distance between them to 6 cm? So we have to decrease the distance. Let the new distance is R2, which is 6 cm. Clearly, both the charges are positive, so work is required to be done against the field. So the work done will be written as the change in the potential energy, that is U2 minus U1. And when we know that when the work is done against the field, this formula becomes K Q1 Q2 upon R2 minus K Q1 Q2 upon R1. So taking K Q1 Q2 common, it is 1 upon R2 minus 1 upon R1. So now we need to substitute the value, that is 9 into 10 raised to 9 K, that is 8 into 12, both are micro, so 10 raised to minus 12, and here it becomes 1 by 6 minus 1 by 10, both are in centimeter, that is converted into meter. So you substitute this value and find out the answer. The answer given in the key is A. So you should check this answer whether it comes out to be 5.8 joule or not. So you can do this calculation by yourself. Now question number 3. So again, this is the work done is equal to the change in the potential energy. Question number 3. 4 identical particles, each of mass m and charge q, are kept at the 4 corners of the square of a length capital L. So we have a 4 charge, identical charge, say q, q, q and q. The length of the square is L. The mass of each particle is m. The final velocity of this particle after setting them free will be. Now all the charged particles are positive, so there will be a force of repulsion between this between the two charges. Let this charge be referred as 1, 2, 3, 4. Initially they are arranged on the vertex of the square. So we have to find out the potential energy of the system. Now if we let them free, then that they all will come into the motion because they all will interact with each other. And suppose I take these two charges, both will repel each other, so both will move away from each other. Similarly, these two will move away from each other, these two will move away from each other. So what happens? The entire potential energy should be converted into the kinetic energy. So we apply the law of conservation of energy. Initially, all the 4 charges are kept at a square. They are fixed at a vertex of the square. So they have a potential energy and the kinetic energy is 0. Now if I let them free, that potential should be converted into the kinetic energy. So what will be the potential energy of the system? So potential energy of the system. Now we have done the formula. There will be, when first charge is brought, the work done is 0. Then second is brought against first. So the potential energy of the system increase. Then third is brought against 1 and 2. Then fourth is brought against 1, 2 and 3. And if you remember, the formula was 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 4. So this is the potential energy of the system. Now 1, 2, then 2, 3, then 3, 4 and 1, 4. All have a same value. So we directly write it is 4 times K Q square, that is Q1 Q2, upon distance between them, that is L. So we have 4 K Q square upon L, that is the potential energy of this pair of the charges. 1, 3, that is a diagonal. So if I take this 1, 3 as a diagonal, we know its formula should be root 2 L. Now we have the value of 1 3 and 2 4. So I have not written this 2 4, 2 3, then it comes out to be 2 4 and then 3 4. So we have the value of 1 3 and 2 4, which are the diagonals, have a same value. So it becomes twice into kq square upon root 2 n. So this is equal to, if we take a common, let us take common to be 2kq square upon L. So it comes out to be 2 plus 1 by root 2. So the first step is to find out this value. So you do 2 plus 1 divided by root 2 multiply by 2, whatever answer it comes out to be. This is our equation number 1. Now we have let them free. Now when we leave them, they exert the force on each other and their entire potential energy should be converted into the kinetic energy. So the kinetic energy of system is equal to 4 times half mv square. Each will have a kinetic energy half mv square, so it becomes twice mv square. Now comparing both this equation, comparing equation 1 and equation 2, that is the entire kinetic energy should be converted into the potential energy. So twice mv square is equal to whatever answer we get here. We have to find out the final velocity. So from this formula we can find out, suppose this value comes out to be x. So V formula becomes under root x upon twice m. So you substitute this value and check the answer as per the key is, its option should be C. So you rearrange the terms, you use this calculation and you find out the answer. You verify that the option given is C. Now let us move to question number 4. The potential at a certain point in the electric field is 200 volt. So there is some point, say this is a point A. So potential at this point is 200 volt. The work done in carrying an electron up to that point will be, so we have to do the work in carrying an electron up to that point. So suppose we have an electron at this point. So this will be the work done by the field. And if we have to do the work should be done against the field. So it becomes minus Q into V, that is our formula. So this is the work done by the field. Otherwise, if you remember, the potential was defined as work done per unit charge. But here the work is done by the fields. So we have to consider this minus sign. So W is equal to minus EV, that is minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 into the 200. So this becomes minus 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 17 joule. So here this is your option B. So see here, you have to do, either we do the work against the field or work is done by the field. Now if we want to take an electron to the point which is at a high potential, then the work is done by the field. So we have to consider the negative sign. And if it is the work done against the field, then we know the formula for the potential was work done per unit charge. Now question number 5. We have the two conducting sphere of radius R1 and R2 at the same potential. So this is sphere having radius R1. Let the charge is Q1 and let the potential is V1. And then another sphere having charge Q2, the radius is R2 and the potential is V2. Now you have to find out the relation between their surface charge density given that the potential is same. So here V1 is equal to V2, that is given to us. So this can be written as K Q1 upon R1 is equal to K Q2 upon R2. Clearly we need the relation between sigma 1 and sigma 2, and we know that sigma is equal to charge per unit area, the area of a sphere. So we have to bring 4 pi r square here. Now K can be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So I will write here epsilon 4 pi r1 square, then Q1 into r1. So K value 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, multiply and divide by r1 because we need area here. So it becomes Q2 r2 upon epsilon naught 4 pi r2 square. Now clearly charge upon area is sigma. So that is sigma 1 r1 is equal to sigma 2 r2, epsilon is cancelled. So the ratio of their surface charge density is inversely proportional to the radius. So if we see, the option is B. Now let us come to MCQ number 6. A charge 10 microcoulomb is kept at the origin of XY coordinate system. So we have a charge, say capital Q, that is, let us assume it is a source. The potential difference in volt between 2 points. One point have a coordinate A0. So that is on x-axis. So this is a point whose coordinate is given, say point A. And another point have a coordinate A by root 2 and A by root 2. That is, it is in an XY plane. So let us assume that point is here. So this point, this is A by root 2 and this is also A by root 2. We have to find out the potential difference between 2 points. So potential difference means the work done to move a unit positive charge from one point to the another in the field against the field. So you have to move a charge from, say, point A to point B. Now to move a point from A to B, we see that the potential difference should be equal to VA minus VB or VB minus VA, whichever is greater. So first we found out the potential at A. So potential at A is equal to K source, distance between this test and source. So this distance according to the coordinate is A. That is equation number 1. Second part, potential at B means work done to bring a unit positive charge from infinite to this point. So K source, distance between test and source. So we have to find out this distance. This will be the distance, say R2. So clearly this portion is A by root 2 and this is also A by root 2. So if you apply the Pythagoras theorem, this distance comes out to be A. So the potential becomes K source upon A again, So now we have to find out the potential difference. So VA minus VB is equal to 0. So the potential difference between these 2 points is 0. So as per option, your answer should be A. MCQ 7. An infinite number of charges, each of magnitude 1 microcoulomb, are placed along the x-axis at 1, 2, 4, 8 meter, that is infinite distance is given. The charges are kept alternatively, means one charge is positive, other is negative. You have to find out the potential at the origin. So let us consider an x-axis. The distance is taken in meter. This is origin. Now first charge is positive, that is 1 meter from the origin. Second charge is negative, that is 2 meter. Third charge is again positive, that is 4 meter. The fifth charge is again negative, that is 8 meter. Like this, the series keeps on going. We have to find out the potential at origin. So potential means the work required to be done against the electric field of the sources. Now here there are system of sources. Potential is the scalar quantity. We will find the potential due to individual charges, and then we do the algebraic summation because it is a scalar quantity. So potential at origin is equal to potential due to charge at 1, potential due to charge at 2, potential due to charge at 4, potential due to charges at 8 plus dash 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 up to infinite. Now we simply apply the formula for the potential, that is K source upon 1 minus K source upon 2 plus K source upon distance between test and source minus K source upon distance between test and source plus dash 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 infinite. We take this V naught is equal to KQ as a common, so 1 minus half plus 1 by 4 minus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 16 plus dash 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 up to infinite. So this is an infinite geometric series. So this is a geometric progression, or you say a geometric series. So we find out the sum of this here. The first term is A, that is 1. Now if you see the ratio, that is a common ratio, minus half divided by 1, that is minus half. 1 by 4 divided by minus 1 by 2, so common ratio comes out to be minus half. So the sum of this n term will be equal to A upon 1 minus R. So this will be equal to 1 upon 1 minus of half. So it becomes plus. So this becomes 1 upon 3 by 2. So that is 2 by 3. Now we substitute this value. So V naught is equal to K source into 2 by 3. Now we substitute this value, that is 9 into 10 raised to 9. The charge given is, the magnitude of charge given is 1 micro, that is 10 raised to minus 6 into 2 by 3. So it becomes 6 into 10 raised to 3 volt. So this is option number A. 6 into 10 raised to 3 volt is given. Let us see MCQ number 8. 3 charges, that is Q, 2Q and 8Q, are to be placed on 9 centimeter long straight line. So we have a straight line of 9 centimeter. It is given that you have to place 3 charges, that is Q, 2Q and 8Q, where the charges should be placed so that the potential energy of this system is minimum. Now say that if the potential energy of the system has to be minimum, then the charge having the large magnitude should be kept far away from each other. So here we have 3 charge, Q, 2Q and 8Q. So clearly these 2 charges should be kept at an extreme end. So this is plus 2q, this is plus 8q. Because more is the distance between them, less will be the potential energy. We need a potential energy to be minimum. So third charge should be placed in between these two charges and the system should be in equilibrium, or you say the potential energy should be minimum. So what should be, let us take this charge is kept here at a distance x centimeter. Now in order that the potential energy of the system is minimum, the resultant force should be equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. And for minimum potential energy, the resultant force should be 0. So we have to take the magnitude of forces between this system to be equal. So we have the force between these two charges, we take the magnitude of the forces. So for potential energy to be minimum, the force between them should be 0, or the resultant force should be 0. So we find out the force between these two charges should be equal to the force between these two charges. So this is a 1, 2. So force between 1, 2 should be equal to force between 2, 3. This is for a potential energy to be minimum, the forces between them should be minimum. So this force between them, K, Q, 2Q upon x square. This is equal to K, Q, 8Q upon this distance will be 9 minus x whole square. So this is equal to Q all is cancelled, K is also cancelled. So we have 9 minus x whole square upon x square is equal to 4. That is 9 minus x whole square is equal to 4x square. So 9 minus x should be equal to 2x. So therefore 3x is equal to 9. This implies x is equal to 3 centimeter. So this is x is 3 centimeter from 2q. So you remember, if we need a potential energy system to be minimum for a system of 3 charges, the charge having smaller magnitude should be kept in between, and it should be here 3 centimeter, or it should be near to the charge having the smaller magnitude. So it should be 3 centimeter from the charge A. So first option is Q charge between this and this, 3 centimeter for charge Q charge. So it is option number A. So the third charge or the Q charge should be placed 3 centimeter or 6 centimeter away from this charge. Question number 9. 10 raised to 3 small drops, each of radius r and each carrying charge q, combine to form a one bigger drop. So now we have a small 3 droplets of water. They have a charge q and they combine to form a bigger drop. Find out the potential of bigger drop as compared to smaller drop. Now say we derive the general formula here also. Suppose this is one droplet, this is second, this is third droplet. They combine to form a bigger droplet. Now the radius, let us say the charge of each is q, the radius of each is small r. Now in this case, we have to find out the relation, the potential of bigger drop as compared to that of a smaller drop. Now charge can neither be created nor destroyed. So when they combine, the total charge on this should be 3q. So and the radius let the radius is given by capital R. It should not be 3R. You have to remember this. It should not be written as 3 times smaller. So you have to find out first the relation between them. Now let potential of a smaller drop, we have to find out the relation. Let us derive a relation taking n droplets. So we assume here we have n droplets, then in the place of n we will substitute 3. So potential of a smaller drop, so V is equal to K charge upon its radius. That is equation number 1. So that is the potential of a smaller drop. Now smaller drops combine, then new potential, let us denote new potential by V dash. So that should be equal to K Q dash upon capital R. Say equation number 2. So this is our equation number 2. Clearly charge can neither be created nor destroyed. So if there are n droplets, the charge should become n times. So one relation is Q dash should be equal to NQ. So here the n is given as 3. Now we have to find out the relation between small r and capital R. Clearly the radius will not become 3 times or 1 by 3 times. We have to find out the relation. Now in such numerical, you have to remember that the volume remains constant. That is, suppose the volume of this is 1 drop is V, then the volume of this will become 3 times the initial volume. Suppose this is a water droplet, it consists of 1 ml of water. So there are 3 water droplets. So total radius will not be 3 times, but the volume should become 3 ml. So you have to remember that the volume in this remains constant. That is, so we will find out for n drops. Suppose n drops combine, then one relation is derived, that is Q dash is equal to n times Q. Therefore, volume of bigger drop is equal to n times the volume of smaller drop. So if this volume of one drop is 1 ml, then it should be 3 times in this situation, or n times. The volume of bigger drop, so 4 by 3 pi r cube, that is, we assume it to be a spherical, so it becomes n into 4 by 3 pi r cube. So this we are deriving the relation in the terms of n droplets. So cancelling the terms, r cube is equal to n r cube. Therefore r can be written as n raised to 1 by 3 r. See this relation. So you have to remember this formula. The radius becomes n raised to 1 by 3 times. So if you have 3 droplets, then it becomes 3 raised to 1 by 3. That is the cube root of n. Suppose you have 8 droplets. So you will write 2 raised to 3 into 1 by 3. That becomes twice. So if you have 8 droplets, then the radius will become double. If you have a 27 droplet, the radius will become 3 times. So this is the general relation for the radius. Now we have to find out in this MCQ, you have to find out the potential formula or the potential difference. Similarly, you can find out the relation between electric field intensity. So initial electric field intensity, if I want to find out, I will write K Q square upon R square. if the electric field intensity is asked, you need K Q upon R square. Here you will write K Q dash square upon R square. So K Q dash upon R, K source upon R square. So you can find out the relation between the electric field intensity. Later on we will see you can also find out the relation between the capacitance. An individual sphere can also behave like a capacitor. So we can find out the relation. You try it for an electric field, K source upon R square, K new source, that is 3 times if it is the numerical, then the new radius, R square. Like this you can find out the relation. I am doing the relation for Q dash, R and V. Also E has a relation with V and R, or V potential gradient. So you use this formula, that formula also. Sigma has a relation with a charge also. So you can do like that also. Sigma is equal to charge upon area, 4 pi R square. Area, R relation we know, Q relation we know. You substitute the initial value of sigma, final value of sigma, and you can find out the relations. So now we will substitute this Q dash and R in this formula. So we are finding for n droplets. Substitute Q dash is equal to n times Q and capital R is equal to n raised to 1 by 3R. Therefore, V dash is equal to K. In the place of Q dash, I will write n times Q. In the place of capital R, I will write n raised to 1 by 3R. So V dash can be written as NKQ upon R n 1 by 3. So this V dash can be written as 1 minus 1 by 3, that is n 2 by 3 KQ upon R square. Now here you have a n droplets. So you substitute here in the place of n you have a 3 droplets. So 3 raised to 2 by 3. So you find the relation. Now this is initial KQ upon R. So nu V is equal to n raised to 2 by 3 into V. This is a relation. So V dash is equal to n 2 raised to 3 into initial. So these are the 3 relation. You know the formula for capacitance. Capacitance is Q by V. So initial Q by V. So if I want to find out the relation for capacitance, initial Q by V, final C dash is equal to Q dash upon V dash. Q dash can be written as n times Q. V dash can be written as n raised to 2 by 3V. So again this becomes initial, that is 1 minus 2 by 3, that is 1 by 3. So n1 by 3. So if it is a capacitor, then the relation becomes nu C dash is equal to n raised to 1 by 3 into C. So if this sphere has a capacitance, this is the formula. Electric field can be written as V upon R. So if I want to write down the initial field, it is V by small r. Final, V dash upon capital R. Now in the place of V dash, I will write n raised to 2 3V. In the place of R, I will write 1 by 3 into small r. This is initial. So 2 by 3 minus 1 by 3, that becomes n times. So you do this calculation. Now for our numerical, here we have how many droplets? 10 raised to 3 small water droplets. So n number is, so it is not 3 droplet given, it is 10 raised to 3 droplets is given. So total charge will become 10 raised to 3 times Q. So it is not a 3 droplets, 10 raised to 3 droplets given. So here the number is 10 raised to 3. So V dash is equal to 10 raised to 3 power 2 by 3V. So 3 cancel. It becomes 100 times. That is, this V is not a volt. This is 100 times the initial. So in the option we have 10 raised to 2, 10 raised to 0 like this. So we have option number A. So potential becomes 100 times the initial potential. So similarly you find a relation for sigma, electric field, etc. Number 10. Now before that, we know that potential is equal to kq upon r for r greater than r. It means if a point P is outside at a distance small r from a sphere having radius capital R, then the potential is kq by r, that is k source upon r. Then V on the surface was kq upon capital R, and V inside was also equal to kq upon capital R. So this was the case for a spherical shell that we have done. Now in this question we have a solid sphere having charge plus q. The radius is not given. Let us take this radius as small r, and we have a concentric hollow sphere. Let its radius be capital R. We name this sphere as B, this sphere as A. Now it is given that the potential difference between the surface of these two spheres is V. So let us take a point on this surface, say point P. This is a point P dash. So we find out the potential at point P. So say how will you find out the potential at point P? So potential at P, we have two sources now. Though the charge on this is 0, initially the charge on the sphere B is 0. It is given that. So potential at P, you write this as 2 times. Now how will you read this? Vp due to sphere A. That is, we apply the surface formula. So potential at P due to sphere A, that is its own surface. This Vp will be read as potential at P due to sphere B. And for sphere B, point P is inside. So for B, sphere B is inside. So Vp is equal to K source on its own surface, small r. Now potential inside, that is K source upon R. So K source is 0 divided by capital R. So Vp is equal to kq by small r. This is equation 1. So this is how you will find out the potential at P. Or you can understand there is no source. So the work is done from outside to this point will only be kq by r. Similarly, we find out the potential at P dash. So we write P dash plus P dash. How will you read it? Potential at P dash due to sphere B. So that will be a surface formula. Then P dash due to sphere A. So it will be outside. Point B is outside. So potential due to its own sphere. So K0 upon capital R plus KQ upon small r. So that is outside. So we consider P dash to be outside sphere A. So it comes out to be, this is KQ, sorry, here it will be K source and distance will be capital R. So that is capital R. So this is our equation number 2. So one is KQ by small r and another is KQ by capital R. Now therefore V is equal to Vp minus Vp dash. V is the potential difference between point P and P dash. So it becomes KQ by R minus KQ by capital R. This is what is given to us. This is the initial situation. Now it is given that minus 3q charge. So what is the formula? Initial kq upon small r minus kq upon capital R. Now it is given that minus 3q charge is given to this. Now find out the new potential difference. So now Vp again at point P, I will write again same formula but on the surface, on its own surface. So kq by small. Then for B it is inside. So minus 3kq upon capital R inside formula. So for if you consider point B and consider only point P, don't consider this. So it will be minus 3kq upon capital R. Then Vp dash due to its own surface minus 3kq. Now we have minus 3q upon capital R. And this is equal to, now next is kq upon R minus 3kq upon R plus outside. So for P dash, you have this source, P dash is outside. So you read this thing. So it becomes K source upon capital R. So this becomes minus kq upon R. Now again I find out the potential difference. Vp minus Vp dash. This is equal to kq by R minus 3kq by capital R. Then we have minus sign, this minus plus 2kq by capital R. So it becomes kq upon R minus kq upon capital R. So if this is your equation 2, this is equation 3. You see that this new potential V dash comes out to be same. So potential difference does not change. That is V dash is equal to V only. So we have option number A for it. So you can remember like this also, if this is an arrangement and if the charge is given to the outer sphere, it does not make any difference between the potential difference of the two surfaces of the sphere. So there is no change in the potential difference of the two surfaces. So you try to remember this inside outside formula. Again try to write this in this form. So we have two sphere. If we have three sphere, you write first Vp, Vp, Vp. Then due to sphere A, due to sphere B and due to sphere C. Now where is point P? Point P is here. On the surface of A, you write surface. You apply the surface form. P for B, it is inside. So inside, you apply inside formula. So inside formula, the radius remain for outer sphere, the source was 0. Similarly for B, when I take this point, it is on the surface of the B. And for this source, when I take this as a source, it is outside. So I apply the outside form. Then you find out the potential difference between the two surfaces. Similarly, there are many numericals. We will see you have to find out the potential difference between these two spheres. Today we have found the potential difference between the surface of the two spheres. One was solid, one was a spherical shell. And we arrived at a conclusion. Whatever charge you supply to the shell, the potential difference will not change. So here we wind up our lecture. Have a nice day.